Now, welcome along Tuesday's chair gym with myself, Shane, leading the class today. So all the workout will be led from a seated position. Very welcome along. Lovely sunshine today and a lot of heat. So really is important, as I said to all my groups this week, having your bottle of water, having some water ready. And if you feel you need a little breather, a little break at any point during this workout, just to stop at any point, or if you feel you've done enough work at any point, it is absolutely fine. The heat really will play a big part in the session. So I'll keep it a little bit shorter today. Hopefully nothing too strenuous, but also we'll still get a nice workout done. So let's begin the workout. Nice and upright. Checking in for, we'll work our way from top down to bottom. So let's check in with the shoulders first. Rolling the shoulders back. And let's just begin getting that first little bit of movement here. Rolling the shoulders back. I always like to check in with the shoulders to begin. Nice big circles, just creating as much movement around the shoulders as we can here. And then changing direction, guiding the shoulders forward in circles. Next, if I bring hands together and sit slightly forward, just to make sure I have plenty of space, I will rotate to the right and then over to the left. Just working right and left, side to side. Just getting a nice stretch, nice rotation through the back. Head moves with the movement. We'll just go side to side. And down. Now, bringing hands to legs, stretching down, bring hands towards feet, and just going as far as comfortable. Stretching down, hands towards feet. And return. Next, opening one arm in front and one arm to the side, and then swap. So make sure we space, one arm in front, one arm to the side. So just swap the positions, just checking in around the shoulders here, raising one arm in front and one arm to your side. And we'll just work in 3, 2, 1. Next, I will fold the arms and bring the elbows towards knees. Just leaning forward and back, bringing elbows down towards those knees. And taking it 3, 2, and 1. Next, we'll switch the legs on. I'm just going to adjust the camera ever so slightly just to ensure you can see the feet fully here. Should do it. So next action, just tapping the heels out. Just switching on through our legs here. So tapping the heels out in front. Stretching the legs forward. Guiding your heel towards the floor. And then just stretching the legs out to the sides. So just opening those legs out now, stretching out to the sides. And reset. Next, I will stretch or point the toes out in front towards the floor. So just stretch the feet out, pointing toes towards the floor. And then tapping the toes out to the side. So just stretching side to side, pointing the toes down towards the floor again. Okay. And then if we take the feet in, just to rock the feet forward and back, up on the toes, back on the heels. Just rocking the feet forward and back. And rest. Okay, so that concludes our warm-up. Just note how you found that first little block of work. If you're finding things very tough, very intense, just slow at the pace of the session. And if, again, you feel at any point you're working very hard and find it very hot, just to, again, slow the pace down or to take a break at any point. So let's introduce our first little block of work. I will sit slightly forward in the chair. Just gives me a little bit of space. Sit nice and tall. Reach forward, pull back. So you can imagine grabbing with your hands, grab, and then pull back. So I will tuck the elbows in as I draw the arms back, and I'll get a nice squeeze or connection with the back of my body. So reach forward, pull back. So a rowing motion here as I pull back. Just think rowing, connecting with the back of my body here. Nice action, and that's why I sit forward, just so that I have a little bit of space to work with. I'm not tight or rigid to the chair. A little bit of space to bring those elbows back and just to switch on to my back. 4, 3, 2, 1. Next movement. Right hand, I want to reach down towards the floor and then stretch across. Think like pulling a lawnmower cord here. If anyone has one of those lawnmowers like I do, where you have to pull the cord. Reach down with your right hand and then pull back. So you'll see that elbow draw back as I bring the arm across my body. That left hand resting on my leg, just giving me a little bit of support here. Reach down, pull back. We go for 3, 2, 1. Swap sides. Left hand. Reach down, pull back. Again, just imagine pulling a cord. So you stretch the arm across the body and bringing that elbow back. So reach down, pull back. And again, we'll go for 3, 2, and 1. Excellent. Next movement, just to give the upper body a little rest. Bring the feet central. So I don't want my feet out here. I want to bring them close to my body. Everything's nice and central. And then the action is to lift the heels up. So a movement we always like to include working the back of the lower legs. Very important in walking, for example. We have strength in this position, back of the lower legs. And we achieve that through lifting the heels up. So good movement around the ankles here. Big lift right up onto the toes of your feet. And we'll finish out in 3, 2, 1. And rest. So that is the first block of work. I will go through those movements once more. Again, just note if there was any movement you're uncomfortable, just to adjust it a little bit, slow it down a little bit if needed this second time. So again, sit slightly forward, away from the back of the chair, nice and tall, and the action is rowing. Reach forward, pull back. Reach forward, pull back. So I imagine grabbing, physically grabbing out in front and then pulling the arms back. Tuck the elbows in, nice little squeeze, connecting with the back of my body here. So just reach forward, pull back. So we're rowing here. Switching on, connecting with the back of our body. As I bring those elbows back, I get a nice squeeze and connection with the back of my body. And I'll work for 3, 2, 1. And down. Next, right hand, I want to reach down and then stretch the arm across, bringing the elbow back. So again, imagine reaching for a cord and you just pull it across. So that arm comes across the body and the elbow just pushes back. Reach down, pull back. Moving to the right, left hand resting on my leg. We'll work for 3, 2, 1, and switch. Left hand. Reach down, pull back. Reach down, pull back. So just draw that arm across the chest, bring the elbow back, and just reach down, pull back. Working through the left side, supported through the right hand resting on leg. And we'll go for 3, 2, 1. And rest. Down to the heels next. Again, let's just check in the position of the feet. Walk them back a little bit, so central or close to the rest of the body. And the action, elevating the heels. So I want to go right up onto the toes of my feet. Big lift of those heels. Getting right up onto the toes of my feet. And switching on, connecting with the back of the lower legs, down towards the ankle in particular. Big lift of the heels. Let's push this one another couple of times. And let's finish in 3, 2, 1. And rest. So if you need a sip of water, just to take that now. I'll introduce a couple of new movements, working in a very similar format. So 2 rounds, and I will introduce the movements. So let's reset the position. Nice and upright. Arms out, elbows in a comfortable position. They don't need to be too high. If that feels uncomfortable, just lower it down a little bit. The action is to switch on around my chest here. I want to bring the arms across, open out. What I know happens a lot of the time is we just bring the hands together, but I want you to think of the elbows also coming towards each other. And that's what will give me the connection with my chest. So bring the elbows towards each other. Not just thinking about the hands. I want the full arms across towards each other, open back out, like a butterfly movement. Really nice on the upper body. Go another couple of times. Let's check in for 3, 2, 1. And down. Now, leg extension. We're going to alternate. Just sit comfortably in the chair. Extend the right leg out. Pause, 1, 2, and down. Left leg, extend. Pause, 1, 2, back down. So I don't want you to just kick the leg. I want you to pause for 2 seconds at the top. So really break this one down. Shouldn't be going through this one too fast. You want to slow it right down. Switch on, connect with the leg. So even resting my hand on the thigh here, I can feel the muscle. I can feel the leg doing its job as I extend the leg out and pause in the position. So let's work another couple of times through each leg. I want to go twice more on each side, pausing for 2 seconds, and then once more. And down. Now, another upper body movement, making sure you have plenty of space, particular to your side. So I'm going to adjust forward a little bit. I want to bring the hands up, push out from chest, return, and then push out to the side. So combination, forward and side. So you're pressing out in front, and then you're pressing out to the side. Press forward, press out to the side. So let's continue to work through the 2 positions of forward and side. So really nice upper body movement. A little kind of connection and opening up around the chest here. One more time, forward and side. Okay. Now, want to move back down to the feet. Again, just have the position kind of central, so your feet aren't really far out or wide, just close enough. And the action will be to lift the toes, elevate the toes. So we worked on the heels. Now I want you to lift the toes. So the front of the feet lifting up off the floor. And this one a little bit tougher generally than when we lift the heels. And we might feel just a little pull along the front around the shin here. So we lift the toes up. Nice big lift. So another couple of times, just pointing your toes up towards the ceiling. Keeping the heels flat. So toes up. 3, 2, 1, and rest. So that finishes the first round. We'll go through those same movements again. Just note again, if there was anything uncomfortable there, just slow the pace or adjust any of the movements if needed. So let that plane pass overhead, and we will resume. Okay. So nice and upright, arms out, arms across chest. And again, remember those elbows towards each other. I don't want just the hands to merge. I want the elbows also towards each other. And that will help me switch on to the chest and upper body. So think like a butterfly movement. Arms towards each other, arms open out. So in and then open back out. Bringing those elbows towards each other. Nice little squeeze, open back out. And let's take it for 3, 2, 1, and down. Checking in with the legs next. Extend the right leg, pause, 1, 2, lower back down. Extend the left leg, 1, 2, back down. So each and every rep, 2-second pause. I don't want you to just kick or swing the legs. We want a little pause and nice control through the movement. So we pause for 2 seconds every time. We'll switch side to side. Go twice more on each leg, starting with the right. 1, 2, 1, 2. Once more. 1, 2, 1, 2. And down. Next, I'll bring myself forward, making sure I have plenty of space around me. Upper body again around the chest here, hands up, push forward, and then push out to the side. So combination, forward, and then out to the side. So let's work those 2 positions, pressing forward, and then pressing out to the side. And once more, forward and side. And back down. Finally, just going to bring it back into shot, lifting the toes. So again, just make sure those feet aren't really far apart or out in front. Just bring the feet back, elevate the toes. So point the toes up towards the ceiling. I feel a little pull around the front of the leg, pointing the toes up, lifting up as much movement as we can. It might not be a huge range, and maybe a little bit trickier than the heel lifts. We're just getting as much movement as we can. 3, 2, 1, and rest. Okay, so 2 rounds of work finished. Again, if you'd like a sip of water, just do keep it going on a day like this. And then into our final block of work here. So a couple of lower limb movements here around the leg, and the hip in particular will be active with some of these movements. So I will sit ever so slightly forward, extending the legs out. So my legs are straight out and I'm on the heels. So you can see I'm on the heels of my feet. The first movement I want to work is extending the right leg. So my legs stay straight, raise the leg up and down. So there's a lot of control from the hip with this movement. Straight leg, raising up and down. Just lifting that right leg straight up and down. And let's take it for 3, 2, 1. Now, keeping the left leg out, that same action, extending, leg extended, raising up and down. So from the heel, just raise up. By keeping that leg out straight throughout, we get a really good connection and control around that hip here. So just raising that left leg up and down. And 3, 2, 1. Now I want you to keep this position really throughout this little block. Keep the legs out. Pull the right leg back from the heel to the toes, and then pull the left leg back from the heel to the toes. So you can see I'm just curling the leg back one at a time. Curling the leg back, getting nice movement through the knee, maybe feeling a little connection around the back of the upper leg. So just pull back one leg at a time. We'll just work through this one another couple of times. Go back as far as you comfortably can. Even if you're not quite getting back onto the toes, that's okay. Just pull back as far as comfortable. And 3, 2, 1. Now, keeping the legs out. One last action. Legs stay straight. Heel, toe position. Place one foot on top of the other, lifting one above the other. Heel on top of the toes. Right foot over left, left foot over right. And let's just continue to switch between the positions. One foot on top of the other. Heel, toe, heel, toe. And again, a lot of control around the hip, leg even might feel a little bit heavy up around the top. And we'll just keep going here for last couple of times. 2, 1. And rest. Okay, bring the feet back in. Take a couple of seconds, just reset the position. Working through that block one last time, and then we'll take it into a cool down. So just reset, readjust again if there was anything there uncomfortable, either slowing the pace or just adjust the movement a little bit if you need to. So again, I'll just sit slightly forward in my chair. I want to extend my legs out. So the legs are straight and I'm on the heels of my feet. The first action is to lift the right leg up and then just raise the left leg. So let's, no necessarily, we'll break it down again. Let's just work through the right leg on its own. A bit more control if we just do it this way. Let's just work through that right leg, raising up and down. Keep the leg straight. Lift up and down. And good control from the hip here. So the leg is straightened and I just lift up and down. Heel taps the floor and then I'm straight back up again. Switched on, lots of control around the hip here. And then swap sides, work through the left, keeping that left leg straight and just raising up and down. Nice straightened leg, raising up and down. We'll just go for 3, 2, 1. Keep the legs out, pull the right leg back. Pull the left leg back. So one at a time, think about going from a heel to toes position, curling the leg back, going from your heel to the toes of your foot and getting nice movement opening up around the knee here. Just curling the leg back one at a time. And let's just continue on, curling the leg back. Finishing out in 3, 2, 1. Final action with those legs still out on your heels. Heel toe. Place one foot on top of the other, placing the heel of one foot on top of the toes of the other. So a little fun challenge at the end. Legs stay straight, one foot on top of the other. Lots of control around the hip. And those legs, a little bit of endurance just around the legs also. So let's just finish out. One foot on top of the other. Last couple of times. And rest it down. Okay, so that concludes your 3 little blocks of work today. Really important now. I just take a couple of minutes to cool down just to ensure I'm fully relaxed after the session. So let's take it into a cool down. Nice and light. Just kick the right leg out and then just slightly kick the left leg out. Even just a little pause at the top. And nice and relaxed at this point. Just slowing everything down. Just relaxing at the end of the session. Just a couple of nice light movements. Nothing too intense at this point. And down. Now, lift the heels up off the floor. So stay right up on those toes, keeping the heels elevated. Pause for a couple of seconds. And back down. So walk the feet forward and then elevate the toes. So my toes now pointed up. And again, let's hold for a couple of seconds. Down, walk the feet back. Elevate the heels, hold position. And lower. Walk the feet forward. Lift the toes, hold. back down. Once more, walk the feet back, elevate the heels. Let's hold that position. Down, walk the feet forward, and point the toes up. Back down. Now, just to show this from the side, just ensure you have a nice view. The movement, I want to lift the right knee, just to lightly hold on. If you're not comfortable holding that knee, that is fine, you don't need to. But all I want to do is from that position, guide the foot around in circles. I just want to show you from a side angle. So just draw circles with the toes of my right foot. And then reversing back the opposite way. Just around in circles and just lightly holding on to the knee here. And down. Swap to the left side. So again, elevate the knee, just to lightly hold on. And just begin drawing circles with the toes of the left foot. So just drawing circles with the toes of your left foot. And reverse back the opposite way. And just opening up nice big circles through the ankle here. And down. Now, moving up the body. Nice upper body movement. If we bring arms across chest. And then open up nice and wide. So it might feel nice, a connection around the chest here. And then squeezing shoulder blades together. Relax the arms back in. Open up nice and wide. Again, arms across chest. Open up nice and wide. Relax across chest. Open up nice and wide. Let's work that in twice more. Cross chest. Opening up. And then one more time. Relax across chest. And open up nice and wide. Excellent. Now, what we'll do is bring the hands together and just draw nice big circles. Okay, so just getting a little bit of movement around the shoulders, just keeping the hands together and just drawing nice big circles, opening up around the shoulders. And then reverse the opposite way. Now, keeping those hands together, up, slightly forward in my chair. I want to rotate to the right and then over to the left. And you'll see my head turns with the movement. So nice stretch through the upper body. You might feel a stretch around the back as I turn side to side. Over to the right and then over to the left. And once more, each position, right and left, and back down. Now, just bringing the hands up. I want to slowly clench the hands in, and then spread all the fingers out. So just slowly clench in, and then spread out nice and wide. So just close and open. Just gently working through the fingers here, opening fully, and then closing in. One more time. Close and open and back down. Now, just checking in finally with the head. I always say slow and never force the position. So you don't want to swing the head side to side ever or force it into a position that's uncomfortable around the neck. So really slow down here. Look up towards the ceiling and then slowly down towards the floor. But you don't have to force each position too far. Slowly looking up. And down, and then once more up and down. Working the same slow pace, looking over to the right and then over to the left. And you'll see nothing is too extreme in the position and I'm never rushing. Over to the right, left, once more over to the right and over to the left and back in. Now, finally, we'll finish off with some breathing and a little bit of movement. Arms to my side. I want to bring the hands towards each other. Nice big inhale. And then slowly release. Taking air in. Pull back and then slowly release. Imagine pushing that air out. Taking all the air in. Slowly release. 2 more times. And once more. And down. So that concludes our workout for today. Really well done to anyone performing that workout. Really is much tougher in the heat. So really big well done. We will be back on Thursday at 2 o'clock for a chair gym again. So enjoy the rest of the day. Enjoy the weather and really good work. Talk to you again soon.